we are here with one of our endurance athletes, Christian Martinez.
So I'm always hydrating, but I do eat a lot of carbs, yeah.
Well, that's cool.
I got into it during the pandemic.
All right, Big Stu here. We are here with one of our endurance athletes, Christian Martinez, to kind of learn more about himself and his evolution in the endurance industry. Okay. Christian has a big background in endurance running, but is now getting more involved as well in the growing sport of high rock. So thank you for joining us today, Christian. I want to kind of learn more about endurance sports in itself. You know, alphasuppsusa, our foundation has always been about fitness. A lot of the following that we have had early on is, you know, the fitness and bodybuilding clientele. Even though we've had, you know, some runners that enjoy our products and stuff like that, we're starting to get involved heavier in the endurance space. So if you can kind of give us a little rundown of your background, how you got into endurance running. We talked a little bit off the camera that your specialty is long distance running, marathon running. So if you guys don't know, a marathon is how many miles?
26.2 miles.
That's a long way. And 26.2 miles. So if you go 60 miles an hour, that is you get it done in almost about half an hour. Obviously, we're not going 60 miles an hour, but how long does a typical beginner start doing a marathon? Not yourself, but like a beginner, like anybody that kind of have done some distance running but get involved in it. I think my dad did one. He did the Boston Marathon when we were younger. I think it took him like 6 or 7 hours. But how long does it normally take a regular person?
I remember when I first started running, my very first marathon, I finished it under 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
I was around 3 hours, 55 minutes.
Oh, this guy's a stud over here. So.
But I was just starting off.
Okay.
Zero training, no coach, no nothing.
Oh, so you knew what you were doing. So, but so let me ask you on that side. Were you doing distance running regularly, or were you just like wake up one day? Because my dad was like running, I think, 12 miles, 13 miles for it. And then he said that the last 5 miles, like, just destroyed him. Like he wasn't ready for that huge jump from like a 10 to 15 miler. Once you get past 20, his legs were just shot. Yeah,
I did it that route. I was never a distance runner before. I was actually never into sports.
Okay.
Growing up as a teenager or even my young adult life, I got into it during the pandemic when the gym started closing down.
Okay.
I just wanted to find a new way to stay active, a little bit healthy, and I got into running.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then just one day you were just like, I'm going to just do a marathon?
Yeah.
Not like a half marathon or
no.
You do any 5Ks or anything like that?
I did a relay the year before. It was 2018 when I did my first relay. That was a team of 5 people, and we all got like a 6-mile leg. Some of us got like a 5-mile leg. So combined, it was a marathon. That's when I started like, okay, I want to compete. So the following year, 2019, is when I decided, you know what? I'm gonna just run the whole thing by myself.
Now, could you do that like where someone like myself can get like a 1-mile leg, and then you guys do the rest 25, and then I can say that I ran a marathon and get the tattoo?
Probably
and everything?
not, but yeah.
All right, so that's pretty cool. So you did that, but you never did like a 5K or a half marathon?
No.
You're just like, I'm just going to jump right into the big boy? All right, well, that's cool. We've seen it happen. Like I said, my dad never, I don't know if he ever did. He never talked about doing any of the smaller races, but I remember one day he's like, I woke up, did it. And I think he obviously he was never had no idea about nutrition or any of that stuff. And he said he cramped up like a mother at the end. And I think he was like in bed for like a week with just sore legs and, had no idea what he was doing on that side to take it to the next level. So you got into marathon running. Is that something that you do once a year? I know you mentioned to me off camera that you were doing something with like the Boston Marathon. You've done that before. How often do you do marathons?
I typically do 2 per year.
Okay.
One of them being like my A race, which is where I want to compete.
Okay.
And then I'll think about doing 1 or probably 2 extra ones, but just as practice, or I'll pace someone. Like this year, I'm going to be pacing someone for the marathon in Seattle. And it's basically, I'm leading them to reach their marathon goal time.
Okay. So you are the person basically setting the pace for them so that they have to keep up with you so that they can reach their goal.
Yeah. So they kind of just they don't worry about looking at their watch. All they have to do is just focus on following me.
And are you either a trainer or something like that?
No,
or?
I'm just switching roles from like racing an event to pacing one. So I feel
That's
comfortable.
interesting. I've never heard of that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I just wanted to experiment. I feel comfortable running that pace, his goal time of the marathon. So it's going to be the first time I try it. So that's exciting for me.
Now, is that a typical thing for training? Like, have you ever done that with someone else?
No.
Like you've never, okay. So you've never done that where you've paced with someone maybe more experienced than yourself.
No.
Is that a common thing, or is this something you guys just figured out?
I think we got the idea at marathons like the Boston Marathon.
Okay.
There's official pacers.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
there's going to be someone with a little flag with the, it has like 3 hours, 15-minute mark on their flag.
Okay.
So if you follow them, your destination will be their goal time, which is 3:15.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
So there's people that literally are running the race
Mm-hmm.
and they got a flag on and they know exactly what pace they need to do.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's interesting. I could never even think of, but again, that's cool. And again, why we're doing this is to learn more about your sport.
Right.
Me being the typical meathead bodybuilder, I'm just thinking you guys go out there and you formulate however you're going to train, but I could never even think of myself of having a pacer. And then at some of these big races, they don't even know who's pacing with them. They're just doing that as like, I'm the pacer for that race.
Right.
All right, that's cool. That's really, really. Now, give us a little rundown of like what your week looks like when it comes to training for one of these endurance races.
Okay. Typically a marathon block will last anywhere from 16 weeks to 17 weeks.
Okay. So like a contest prep, like we would consider it a contest prep. You guys, you're getting ready for your event.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And, we start off with running around like 40 to 55 miles a week.
Okay.
That's on average. And then we get to the peak of the marathon prep, and that's usually around like 60, 65 miles per week.
How many days are you running? Are you running every day?
I'm running every day.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, there's people that take 1 day off, 2 days off. It just really depends on your goal time.
Okay.
For my specific goal time this year, I'm going to be running every day.
Okay. So if you're looking 7 days a week, in the beginning, you're looking at about 8-9 miles a day.
Yeah. Around that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you get up to close to about 9-10 miles.
Yeah.
When you get later into the thing.
And it fluctuates. There's deload weeks where you do a little bit less to let your body recover.
Okay.
And then you go back up, and then you go down, and then you go back up.
Do you have days that you go longer? Like is everything continuous? Like, is everything like you're doing 8 every day? Or is it like, I'm going to do 15 one day and I'm going to do 4 the next?
Yeah.
How does that work?
There's some days where I do doubles. So
Okay.
I'll do 8 in the morning and then 8 in the evening after work. But it's not like every day.
Okay.
It's usually one day a week sometimes.
Okay. Now, I'm guessing, because I see with a lot of different sports, the nutrition is completely different. Bodybuilders eat every 3 hours. We're very high on protein. Most of the bodybuilders are like, when they're getting ready for a show, obviously body fat is what they're worried about. It's not really performance. Going into your competition, whatever you want to call it, the training block, does your weight fluctuate? How does do you fluctuate that with nutrition? Like, how does your nutrition look and your weight going into a competition like that?
For me personally, I like to have high carbs, moderate fats, and moderate protein.
Okay. When you say moderate protein, what are you looking at? And how much do you weigh? Just don't mind me asking.
170.
Just so
I weigh 170. Typically, on race day, I'll weigh less.
Okay.
165, 160.
Okay, so it doesn't fluctuate a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I try to eat like 1 gram per pound.
Okay. And then carbs would be up to what?
I wouldn't know. But I do eat a lot of carbs. Yeah. And I try to stick to like high quality carbs.
Okay.
Oats,
complex carbs, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And do you have a schedule in which you eat? Like a typical day? Is it like every 3 hours, or is it I eat when I'm hungry? How does that look?
It's basically breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a lot of snacks in between.
Okay.
Yeah. And the snacks, high protein, not too many carbs, but high protein, and then a lot of hydration. You know, I
Okay.
try to hydrate with electrolytes throughout the whole day, especially if I'm doing doubles, one in the morning, one at night, as far as running.
Awesome.
So I'm always hydrating. That's a big thing.
All right, we're going to move right in because he said the word. We're going to move into our alpha lights, and we'll go back obviously to some more of your training. But, you know, we just launched that product, and specifically for men and women like yourself that are in that endurance space. I showed you one of my best friends that is really high in a competitive high rocks, you know, space. You know, what we wanted to do, Alpha Supps, going in there is wanted not to just say, hey, listen, we have a sports nutrition brand. This could benefit you because you could do this. This could benefit you because you could do that. Like, we wanted to look specifically for your sport and say, hey, what do you guys need? Let's make something exclusively for you. If fitness people can benefit from it, great. But ideally, we want something for you. And that's when we created the Alpha Lights, which is obviously high sodium, high electrolytes. And then we obviously wanted to make something that also tasted good in that space. So you've had a chance to try the product out, seen the formula. Is it definitely something that fits from what your needs are? You know, can you speak on that at all? I mean, obviously you haven't really had enough time to train with it, but from what you see from a packaging standpoint and formulation standpoint, as well as flavor, do you think it would fit well in your supplement regimen?
Yeah, from looking at the label and what it contains, it has what I need and a little bit more.
Okay.
Adding the tart powder,
the tart cherry.
Yeah, and the watermelon powder and the pomegranate powder.
Yeah.
Definitely, I can see that being a benefit.
Awesome.
For my sport.
Yeah. That's the thing, is like, we wanted to make sure we had a product that is specifically for endurance athletes that you guys could, you know, kind of take to the bank. You guys, like, this is for us. We made this for you guys. That's like your SKU. We have a few others that we're working on as well, because we want to make sure that we're not just a one-trick pony in your space. You know what I mean? We're kind of catering more products to you guys that specifically fit your field. Like I said, if it benefits the fitness demographic, if it benefits the bodybuilding demographic, great. If they want to utilize it as well, because hydration is important for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Something I talk about in my training as well. Like, if you don't stay hydrated, you're not going to get the same muscle pumps. If you don't stay hydrated, you're not going to get the same performance. But at the end of the day, I can sit down, you know, and chill. Like, if I'm getting a little dizzy, you're out there, you know, you got 20 more miles to go. If your legs start cramping up, that's no good. Or you got 5 miles to go. That's still 5 damn miles that you need to run. So you got to make sure that you're not going to be cramping in your races and stuff like that. So obviously that's a product that we wanted to make for you. Race day. What is your race day schedule look like, or race week? Like, bodybuilders, we get ready, you know, starting Monday. We do our like sodium manipulation, our carb up, carb down, however that works. Do you guys have something specific that you do going into like a big race that maybe personally, I have no idea what the heck you do. I know that, like, back in the day, you in high school, like, let's just eat a lot of pasta the night before.
Carbo load.
And that's the idea. And I'm like, that's probably not how it all works for these guys that are doing that. But what is you guys' like week look going into the last week, training wise, nutrition wise, maybe possibly supplementation? How does that look?
Well, the big thing is your recovery, your nutrition, and your training, your coaching.
Okay.
But as far as your training, you kind of taper down to race day. So races are usually on Sundays or Saturdays, but we start tapering down, meaning we start bringing the mileage and the intensity down.
Okay. And
we just try and focus our nutrition. Like I said, you know, high carbs, moderate protein, moderate fats.
Okay.
And then our sleep is it's a big one. Like, we have to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep.
Okay.
I usually get 7 hours, 6:30.
Okay.
And I'm fine. But I think 2 days before is when we start carb loading.
Okay.
We start eating more carbs, and in the form of pastas, just foods, oats, rice, things like that.
So it's actually pretty similar to a bodybuilding regimen. Yeah. So just to give you an idea, like, for us, we do some, like, I call them fluff workouts. So we do, like, low intensity workouts at the beginning of the week. By about Wednesday, you're done almost completely of all your training and cardio. And for us, the only difference is because we're looking for a look, is that you're kind of lowering your lowering your carbs.
Okay.
So that when you draw in more carbs towards that Thursday, Friday into Saturday, you're bringing more carbs in your system, and then your water is obviously, we don't need to be hydrated. So we take out the water, which is awful for performance, but we're supposed to try to look good.
Yeah.
You guys obviously need to be hydrated. Do you manipulate any water, or is it your water consistent throughout and hydration consistent throughout?
It's pretty much the same out throughout the whole training as in race day. We try to hydrate well in the morning, first thing in the morning.
Is there a certain amount of water that you're looking to, bring in every day?
12 to 16 ounces with at least, anywhere from like 800 to 1,000 milligrams of sodium, along with
12 to 16 ounces per meal.
Yeah. Well, the first thing in the morning, that's how much I drink. That's
all you drink.
Yeah.
Okay, but like the whole day, like how much, like a gallon a day or gallon and a half?
That's a good one. Yeah, probably close to a gallon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so nothing over the top.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Now I know that you were looking into getting into high rocks.
Mm-hmm.
This is obviously a very big growing segment. I first experienced it again with my best friend. The endurance crowd is picking it up big time.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the runners like it. I saw that. I talked to Alex and I'm like, dude, we got to get into this because, most of the time with runners, what they miss is a lot of the functional training. They're just running all the time. They don't have enough strength or say muscle mass that they might have liked. Now, obviously some runners, they just want to stay in their field, just like some bodybuilders, they just want to be big and, beefy or whatever. But, for the majority of people, they want that, a balance of both worlds,
right?
You might lean towards more of the runner, where some of the other functional people lean towards more of the weights and stuff like that. So, how has that transition gone for you? Like, when did you get interested or getting involved in the high rocks space?
Just recently, maybe 2-3 months ago.
Okay, cool.
I attended my first class here in McAllen at Mob Fitness, and then I did my first simulation, high rock simulation, maybe like 2 weeks ago. Okay. And man, the transition, it's very different than running, especially long distance running. You have to balance your power, your strength, and your endurance. Yeah. I feel like I'm really good at my endurance and even some strength, but generating power at high intensities is what I lack. Okay. And it's kind of like, that's the thing that I've struggled the most from going from endurance, long distance running to high rocks. Yeah. But I'm eager to keep training and just get better at it. And I know it's going to help me the other way around. It's going to help my running as well. So.
No, that's awesome. And I think you hit it right on the head. There's guys that are coming in on the flip side, that are more power driven, the functional fitness driven. And then they get on that. It's a quarter mile that you have to do in between each thing. They get on there and they're like, I'm fucking gassed. Get me back over there in the sled pushes. I can do that all day. But the run is where, someone like yourself will make up that time. So it's kind of balancing out the best of both worlds. Mm-hmm. Well, awesome, man. This is exactly what we wanted. We wanted to kind of get an in-depth, interview of yourself, learn more about that. We're going to keep growing this with the alphasuppsusa family. Excited to have you on board. Excited to get your positive reviews with the alpha lights. And, hopefully you're in Dallas with, representing Mob Fitness, which is going to be a new partner here. And what is he doing? What's this guy doing over here? Who's this guy?
Just want to make sure we get you some of that green.
Oh, what's this? What is this, dude?
Oh,
what do you got here?
Oh.
Is this the supplement dealer? Alpha supplement dealer? What is this? I guess that's how we'll finish it with this shenanigans over here. But thank you guys for following along. You guys can follow Christian Martinez. What is your Instagram tag?
It's Spooky Ghost Fighter.
Spooky Ghost Fighter. And I'm the Big Stew. That is a wrap. Boom.